Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Once again, coming at you with another lesson, and Lord's will be edifying to the Lord's elect. And I want to entitle this lesson, The True Prophets Were Right. All roads lead to World War III. And that's right. The true prophets were right. Because, hey, you got false teachers and you got false prophets. You got false leaders out here, whether they call themselves of Israel or in these camps, or whether they in the mosque or in the church or wherever they may be. You got a lot of false teachers, prophets, and leaders out here. And if the Lord doesn't give you the spirit to discern between who's teaching you the truth and who's not, then you're gonna be through. Because the Lord, hey, he's always had false prophets, and he's definitely always had true prophets. But the true prophets were right. All roads are leading to World War III. World War III is already popped off. It's been started. It's just ramping up. And as you should know, all the prophecies are going to take place at the time that the Lord set them to happen. The MOTB, for example, is going to come out and be made mandatory, which is the mark of the beast. Before they push those buttons, before those missiles are launched, you best believe all the prophecies are going to happen in the time that the Lord set up, in the order that the Lord set up. So, and the MOTB, we know, has to come to pass and become made mandatory before those missiles are launched from all of these countries around the world. Now, I got a few video clips I want to get into. The one you see on the screen, the guy at the top, his name is Scott Ritter. He used to be a former Marine. He talks a lot about different things concerning war. And I just want to pick up on this video. It says, America is now asking for talks with Iran after they found out who's in charge. So basically, the leader, the Ayatollah guy, he was taken out. The supreme leader, he was killed when they started attacking over there. And of course, you're going to have people who are going to step up and take his place. And for what this guy Scott Ritter is getting into, basically now it's even worse that the prime leader that they took out is been replaced by somebody who's going to be even worse to deal with. So basically, that's where this video picks off.
The guy who was making that argument is now the senior Islamic cleric in Iran. You stupid idiots. The man who believes that Iran has a right to have a nuclear bomb is now the guy that interprets the Islamic faith for the Islamic Republic. And the people of Iran are in the streets saying, this is what we want. How stupid can you be? Well, the answer is extraordinarily stupid. And so now we see the reality. This Islamic Republic is not built on the backs of one man. It's built on the back of a constitution that is being applied as we speak. No deviation from the Constitution whatsoever. Things are going exactly the way the Constitution says it must happen, and on the backs of the faithful. And you just empowered the faithful to say, we need nuclear weapons. Now, we're in a very dangerous position, but let's continue down the path of regime change for a second. You see, regime change is a double-edged sword. Donald Trump unsheathed it, along with Israel, and sought to wield it against the Iranians. But it cuts both ways. Donald Trump lost the war on day one, the first 6 bombs that fell on on Iran. He lost the war, which means there will be regime change in the United States before there's regime change in Iran. Donald Trump's cult of personality will not survive the midterm elections because in order to win the midterm elections, Donald Trump needed to deliver a very quick, relatively bloodless war to the American people, one that accomplished what no other American president in 47 years has been able to do. But instead, he's going to go down the path of yet another failed president who's gotten the United States involved in a long, drawn-out war that we won't win. We will lose. We don't know how many lives.
Now, President Trump, he was campaigning on the words of peace. He kept telling his support base, his MAGA, that he's about peace. He's not about war, and he's gonna de-escalate all the tensions in the world. And he's not gonna be a president that's gonna get into wars and things like that. He's gonna get us out of wars. And basically, he's done the complete opposite. So even his base of people who voted for him are upset because the only thing they have seen is war and violence ever since he's been in there for this second term. But hey, this is supposed to be happening. This is all biblical prophecy. The Lord, he's moving all of the pieces in place so that the prophecies take place. Well, we already know they're going to happen. See, from the true prophets on down, from our apostles and the elders of Great Millstone on down, hey, we've been telling you over and over and over that, hey, the small hatters, according to prophecy, is going to draw Babylon the Great, aka America, into that third world war. And that's exactly what you see happening. See? So ultimately, World War III has already started. It's just going to continue to ramp up from here. And it's not going to de-escalate. They're not going to come to terms and start talking peace. The Lord is doing this thing. Everything is moving forward. Let me continue.
We will lose, but it'll be devastating. The Iranians will not buckle. There will be no popular uprising in Iran to overthrow the regime. Ali Khamenei is a martyr now, a martyr of the significance of Hussein himself, a martyr that in the...
So far, everything Babylon the Great has done is backfired. And so we're not surprised because ultimately this war that they have over there is leading to World War III. Let me get this next video clip, keep it moving, and then I want to play one more, and then I want to get this article. One minute. There we go.
World is very close to a big disaster. One bad decision could start a fire no one can stop.
Everybody should know this is Vladimir Putin. He's the president over there in Russia. And basically, he's breaking it down on how it's going to go if they strike Iran, which they have done. So everything is down here from there. But everything is bright for us as Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We in the last captivity as a people. Babylon the Great, aka America, NATO, and the EU is all about to fall. They're going to all be involved in that third world war. And then Yahushua, our Lord and Savior, he's getting ready to show up. See, he's finna crack the sky with a host of angels, and he's gonna put in work. He's gonna finish off all of these heathen nations, and he's gonna deliver and gather. He's gonna gather and deliver the elect. So we almost there. We can see everything plain as day. Everything is being put together by the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua perfectly. So the true prophets were right. Like I said, from the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone on down, the true men of the Lord, they've been prophesying it correct. Like I said, all you different leaders out here, false prophets and teachers and pastors and all of these different people out here, whether let's say you go into church and they're not saying anything about World War III. They're not saying it's not going to happen. But the point is that they're not saying anything at all. You go to these churches and they're not telling you anything about World War III, and they're not talking anything about the prophecies of the Lord. They're doing you a great disservice because it's all about the prophecies, the prophecies, the prophecies. If you don't know the prophecies, you're going to be lost. And that's why the Lord has woken up his men in these last days. We out here prophesying, preaching, and teaching through the spirit and power of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But hey, our people, they want to stay in these churches. They want to follow these false doctrines and false leaders and teachers. And even the ones amongst the different camps out there that are teaching false doctrines, hey, it's on you. Hey, ultimately, the Lord, either he's going to lead you to the true men of the Lord who's going to teach you the 100% truth, or you're going to stay with those false leaders and teachers out there, which is going to lead you astray. Ultimately, it's going to lead to destruction. So we're living in some very, very dangerous, critical times right now. Very, very prophetic times. And everything is being put in place. As the scriptures say in the book of Ezekiel, he's going to put hooks in their jaws, meaning he's going to put hooks in Russia's jaws and pull them back. See? And so they have already turned into war mode. See? That peacetime and that peace talk stuff is over. It's time for war. Make no mistake about it. All of these nations are gearing up for war. This is the spirit of the Lord. The Lord is working on the minds of these kings all around the world, and they're all getting prepared for war because Third World War is prophecy.
I will speak slowly and clearly so everyone understands. Russia is watching what is happening in the Middle East. If the United States attacks Iran, this will not stay a small war. It could turn into something much bigger and very dangerous. America says it wants peace, but sending warships and making threats does not look like peace. This is how big wars usually start. Iran is its own country. It is not a toy. It is not a target for power games. Russia will not accept another country being attacked just to show strength. Some leaders think pushing harder makes others obey. That is wrong. When you push too much, people push back.
And that's the thing. They were able to go over there and get Maduro out of Venezuela. That operation, I believe in their mind, went as planned. But if they think that Venezuela is the same thing as Iran, they sadly mistaken. This is a totally, totally different thing. See, they've definitely have heated up World War III. Prophecy is playing out.
And when people push back, wars begin. If bombs fall on Iran, the whole region could explode into chaos. Oil prices will rise. Countries will suffer. Innocent people will pay the price. This is not anger. This is a warning. Russia does not want war. But Russia will not stay silent while others risk starting World War III. Stop, talk, think, because once a big war starts, no one wins.
And that's the bottom line. Once the war starts, no one wins, meaning out of these heathens, they not going to win. But as Israelites, starting with the elect, hey, we about to win. We about to win big. Because when our Lord and Savior, Yahushua, turns up, hey, when he comes, when he cracks some skies, hey, it's over for all these heathens. The Lord is getting ready to set us up in power. We're getting ready to rule. We're going to be ruling as kings and priests on this earth. See, because the kingdom of heaven is going to be right here on this earth. And there's only one way for us to get to the kingdom. All of these prophecies must play out. These things definitely have to happen. Everything he was saying is true. He said that if they start dropping bombs on Iran, a lot of people going to suffer. He said that the oil prices or the price of gas and all that, everything is going up. And we see it ticking up now. It's just going to continue to go up. The prices of gas, you just keep watching. It's going to continue to go up because the Strait of Hormuz, where a lot of the ships go through there with a lot of merchandise, mainly oil, and a lot of countries is counting on that oil to come through there. But I got a video, and I'm gonna show you how Iran has basically stopped the flow of ships going through there. 1 second. I'm gonna play this real quick. You see that? You see this narrow patches right here? All of the ships come through there with all of that oil that goes all over the whole entire world. See, up to 30% of the oil that's sold around the world is coming through the Strait of Hormuz. And a lot of people right here in Babylon the Great, they're not paying attention. They don't know nothing about it. Only thing they can do is watch the gas prices because they don't know what's triggering it. See, this war over here has kicked it all off. And a lot of countries are being affected because a lot of fertilizer also comes through on them ships. So what's going to happen to all of the people who are farmers and they're counting on that fertilizer to come through there? See, people are being affected not just by the oil or the gas prices. Well, you're talking about food and resources and medicines. All of that's coming through there. So this thing is going to affect the whole entire world. And this is just the beginning. Let me get this next video clip. Yeah. And then I want to read a little bit of this article and get some scriptures. 1 minute.
We have some news right now. China may soon get involved in the war in Iran. Russia has already gotten involved. China may be next. According to CNN, American intelligence suggests that the Chinese government is prepared to join the conflict in the Middle East, providing Iran with financial assistance, along with spare parts and missile components. Russia has already supported Iran's effort. The Washington Post reported this morning that Russia was providing intelligence to Iran as to where to strike American ships.
Not just Russia. China also. They're providing all kinds of information over there to them Iranians to basically letting them know where to shoot their missiles. So it's already, you can see right there, it's already World War III. You got all the major players involved. The U.S., them small hatters over there in our land, Iran, China, Russia, and then other countries are also getting involved. So as you can see, this thing is growing. This thing is getting bigger and bigger, and everything is leading to that day where they're gonna push those buttons, and those missiles are about to be launched.
Military bases and other assets in the region. So it looks like China may be joining the war next. Why? Because China relies on oil coming from Iran and has been pressuring those around Iran to allow the ships to go through the Strait of Hormuz so that China can get the oil. This is turning into a potentially much larger conflict with China supporting Iran, Russia supporting Iran, and the United States and Europe against Iran. Spread the word, follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. There'll be more to come soon.
And don't forget, China's been wanting to take Taiwan, and with Babylon the Great over there being involved with Iran, they may feel like this is the time where they could try to do that. See? So war is all over the place. We're living in a time of war, make no mistake about it. This thing is heating up and it's moving fast. But hey, as Israelites, as believers, man, we're getting closer and closer to being delivered. See, this thing is the Lord is moving fast. Everything is moving fast. 2026 has been moving fast. Everything is happening. See, we already in March. That's how fast it's moving. Let me get a little bit of this article, then I want to get some scriptures. This is out of the shtfplan.com. It says Trump's war with Iran is even more of a disaster than people realize. And that's the point. People don't really realize what this means. When he went over there and started bombing over there in Iran, the dominoes are moving fast now. As you can see, you see the chessboard and the planes, and you see the fighter jets. You see the tank and the army men out there. Basically, this is the Lord. Basically, He's moving all the pieces. The Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, He's moving all the pieces on the chessboard, and everything leads to Babylon the Great being destroyed. And all these heathen nations, this is it. This is their last run. See, this is the last wicked empire that there's going to be on this earth. And this is the last war. This third world's war is the war that ends all wars. let me get a little bit of this article. It says, over the weekend, U.S. and Israeli governments attacked Iran. In days since, both militaries have reportedly struck thousands of targets, and Iranian forces have retaliated by launching hundreds or even thousands of missiles and drones in Israel. And it says, and the U.S. bases surrounding the Gulfs. So, hey, pretty much Iran has been taking out all of the U.S. bases all around there. And they got way more, from what we're seeing, they got way more missiles and military equipment and weapons than they might have anticipated. Because Trump was saying, hey, it's going to be 4 days. It's going to be, now he's saying it's going to be 4 weeks or so. Man, this thing is going to be, it's definitely not going the way Trump and his crew thought it was going to go. He don't know, man. He really opened up a can. This is it. This is what we've been waiting on. See, because the prophecies have to come to pass. It's only one way to the kingdom. We got to see all the prophecies play out. It says, when announcing the operation, President Trump explicitly said it was meant to be, it says it was meant to free Iranian people from the regime they currently live in. Yeah, they don't give a damn about them Iranian people. It's all about what they can get over there, whether it's oil, resources. That's what it's about. Make no mistake about it. They're not sending all of that military might and equipment and ships and all of that over there because of the Iranian people need to be free. Man, if you believe that, you completely don't know what's going on. It says, and indeed, the first strikes targeted and killed dozens of Iranian leaders, including Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. It says, however, it has quickly became clear that there is no organized internal guerrilla force or government in waiting for the invading powers to install. There typically is a genuine regime change operation. So whatever they was trying to install over there is not going to work, because as you can saw from that video with that guy Scott Ritter, they already had people or a person set up to take over. So taking him out, taking the leader out, that didn't stop nothing. It says, what I have seen so far has looked a lot like an attempt to bring about a regime collapse than a regime change. It says, and that it's necessarily surprising, as I explained last week, despite all the propaganda and focus group workshop talking points we're subjected to about the Iranian regime's supposed obsession with starting a suicide nuclear war. The true motivation of this entire decades-long conflict with Iran to protect and expand Israeli hegemony over the Middle East. So we finally here. We seeing everything playing out. Hey, the 2026 could be the year, Lord's will, that Yahushua comes back. We see everything playing out. We waiting on the MOTB, and that prophecy has to come to pass. And we see everything setting up for that. It says, and at the end, state collapse or condition of permanent civil war that is often called a failed state would be just as much of a success as installation of a puppet government. What's happening over there is, like I said, once they started attacking Iran, that set up a chain reaction. The dominoes are all falling into place. All of these different countries are getting involved. It's ultimately basically World War III. This is World War III. And it's going to continue to get more and more heated until those missiles, to nuclear missiles, will start to get launched. It says it would be good for the Iranian people or the exiled Iranian opponents of the regime to have been used to sell this war, but the suffering of Iranian people at the hands of the regime in Tehran, it says, was an excuse for starting this war says not a true motivation for it. So regardless of what these devils is thinking, regardless of what those Iranians are thinking, it doesn't matter what any of them are thinking. The Russians, the Chinese, all of them, no matter what they're thinking, this thing is leading to the end of all of these wicked empires on this earth. Ultimately, when the dust settles, the kingdom of heaven, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, is going to set up the kingdom. See, we're going to be on this earth ruling. That's exactly what's happening. So everything we see happening is all prophecy. We're seeing everything playing out. We're getting closer and closer to the end of this thing. Now, from there, let's get into some scriptures, and let's start out here in the book of Matthew. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24. Matthew chapter 24. I'm going to start at verse 5. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 5. It says, it's Yahweh speaking. He says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am a Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And that's the point. You got a lot of deception out here with these different churches and these different mosques and these different religious organizations. And even, like I said, within the camps, you get a lot of false teachers and prophets out here. So the Lord said that they're going to be here. They're going to be on the scene. So for you to think that everybody is teaching the truth, you're sadly mistaken. See, either you're listening to the true men of the Lord from the apostles and elders of Great Millstone on down and other like-minded men, or you're not. See, because a lot of people, they basically, the Lord didn't want them. If you go for all of these false doctrines, you don't know, you don't understand the truth, or you don't believe, or you calling on all these different names, Yahuwah, Shai, Yah, all of these different JC, Christ, you calling on all around names, man, you in trouble right there. See, because, hey, we know the names. We got the names, Yahweh and Yahushai. You need to be calling on those names, especially in the times that we're living in. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So everything is happening according to prophecy. For anybody out there saying it's not going to be a World War III, as you can see, they were wrong. They weren't telling you the truth, or either they weren't teaching you at all, and they've been keeping you in the dark because either they don't know, or the Lord didn't put the spirit on them to push this truth. See, it says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And we see all them things playing out right now. Everything's playing out. We got the famines going on around the world, and things are about to get worse. See, the pestilences is on the rise. You've seen all kinds of different pestilences. The earthquakes in diverse places, man, there ain't never been these many earthquakes happening all over the world all at once simultaneously. We are definitely living in those times. We are at the end of this thing. See, and with Babylon attacking Iran, man, things are going to move even faster. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So, yeah, we at that stage. We in the beginning of sorrows, because it's going to be a lot of death out here. It's going to be a lot of danger and evils. This thing is just warming up, and we see it all playing out in real time. Jeremiah 49 and verse 20, because, hey, like we've been saying, according to prophecy, those small hatters over there in our land, they're going to draw Babylon the Great into that third world war, and that's exactly what you see happening. Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 20, it says, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he have taken against Edom for his purposes. This is talking about Babylon the Great. See, it says he has purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. So the least of the flock is talking about them small hatters over there in our land. They are the least of the flock. And you see they have drawn Babylon the Great out, meaning they're going to draw Babylon the Great, aka America, into that third world's war. And this is happening right before your very eyes. It says, surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. So, not only them small hatters over there in that land, that place is going to be hit and decimated. Babylon the Great is going to be completely consumed with fire. Both places about to be destroyed. Both places about to be made desolate. The only place that's going to get built back up is our land over there. See? The small hatters over there in our land, that's all going to get rebuilt. But it's about to get nuked. It's about to get destroyed, along with Babylon the Great. But Babylon the Great, according to prophecy, no man will ever dwell in this land again. Once the fire goes out, this is the only place where the Lord say is not going to be inhabited by man ever again. So the prophecies are playing out perfectly. Whether you hear or forbear, whether you believe it or not, this thing is happening. This is Revelation chapter 11 and 14. Because, in the book of Revelation, it talks about the first war, which is World War I. The second woe is World War II. Revelation 11 and 14, it says the second woe is past. That's talking about World War II. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. We are here. We are here. We are living in that time now that Yahushua or that the prophecy is saying right here in the book of Revelation. The third woe cometh quickly. The third woe has started, and it's ramping up. It's heating up. So, this is some very, very exciting times that we're living in. It's finna get real dangerous out here, though. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. We out there prophesying. He's telling you it's going to be World War III. This place going to get nuked. And people out there, I don't know, y'all crazy. Y'all don't believe that. That's not going to happen. But now look at the people. Look at all the scoffers and scorners. Look at all the false teachers and prophets out there. It's getting quiet out there. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Because they see, things is happening. See? If you, like our Apostle Gabar said, when words don't teach, adversity will. If people gonna get it, if they don't see it now, it's gonna be more and more in your face in a minute. It says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So the vision is the prophecies, and they all happening at the appointed time that the Lord set. We knew that it was going to be World War III according to prophecy. See, though it tarry, wait for it. For it says, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So, we already knew that this was going to happen. We already saw it coming. Because, surely he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So the Lord has revealed it to his true prophets. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 5, verse 18. St. Matthew, chapter 5, verse 18. It says, for verily, meaning truly, I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law to all be fulfilled. Meaning all the prophecies of the Lord, it's got to come to pass. There are prophecies that have already came to pass. There's prophecies happening now. And there's prophecies that's about to happen. See, ultimately with Yahushua showing up, cracking the skies with the host of angels. See, we getting ready to be delivered. The Lord finna put all these heathens down. This is the time we living in, man. We living in some very exciting times. And everything is playing out just the way that the Lord said it would happen. Now from there, let's get this in the book of Ezekiel, because, like I said, you got the naysayers out there. They getting very quiet out there now. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 5. Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 5. 1 minute. Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 5. It says, and they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house. Talking about you 2/3 Israelites. See, our job is just to put the message out there, to put the prophecies out there, to preach the word. But ultimately, it's up to the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, whether you're able to receive it. It says, yet shall know that there have been a prophet among them. That's the bottom line. How do you know when you have a true prophet? When you see the things happening that they said was going to happen. When you see the prophecies playing out. See, for the ones who don't have faith. But for the ones who do have faith, when they hear this word, when they hear the prophecies, they're going to believe. They're going to believe, see, because they were set up to believe. The Lord Yahweh Shem Shai opened their mind up to have faith and to believe in the true words and the true prophecies. Everybody don't have that. A lot of other people, they just going to have to see it happening. See? But, hey, that's a gift to have faith and trust in the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, to trust in his word. That's the gift from the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. See, we already knew these things was going to happen. We've been saying, the MOTB, the RFID hip and the brain C hip, hey, we already said it's going to come out and be made mandatory, and that we're very close. The technology is here. You're already seeing it. Elon Musk with the brain C hip. You're seeing people over there in Sweden. They already got them C hips in their hands over there buying stuff. Hey, we done videos on this. So the MOTB prophecy is real. Everything is in place. We're just waiting for it to come out and be made mandatory. And we're very, very close. Now from there, let's get this in the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 21. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 21. It says, and then, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor shall ever shall be. So we're talking about the time of Jacob's trouble. It's finna be really bad out here. This earth had not seen the time that we coming into. Jacob's trouble has already started. It's just getting ready to get worse. It says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Jacob's trouble is here, and it's going to get worse. It says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And that's exactly what the Lord has been doing in these last days. Everybody has been saying it. Your average person has been noticing the Lord has shortened the days. Everybody, we all noticing the days are being shortened. Like I said, we already in March. It seemed like the year just started. That's how fast things are moving. The Lord is shortening the days. And why is he doing it? He's doing it for the elect's sake. See? And this gives you an idea of how bad it's going to get out here, that he's shortening the days for the elect. That's just telling you how bad it's going to be. It's going to be terrible out here. And most people not going to be able to handle it. See? They don't have this true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which is going to be the stability of that times. They're not going to be stable because they don't know the word. It says, then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Hamashiach, or there, believe it not. See, this is all prophecy playing out. You get false leaders and teachers out there and people out there claiming to be Yahushua. This is all prophecy playing out. And if you believe it, hey, the Lord set you up to go for all of them false doctrines and teachers and leaders. It says, for there shall arise false Hamashiachs, false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And that's the point. It's not possible. If you're of the elect, you're not going to be deceived by all of these false messiahs and false prophets. No matter what they do, whatever great signs or wonders that they're able to do, you're just not going to be deceived because you are the elect. It's not possible for the elect to be deceived. It says, behold, I have told you before. So everything is lining up. Everything is playing out. just the way the Lord said it would happen. All the prophecies are coming to pass. Let's get this in the book of 2 Peter, because the Lord he has a way of dealing with false prophets and teachers. Let's get this in 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 1. This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, "But there were false prophets also among the people. Even there says shall be false teachers among you." So whether you're talking about different leaders in the IUIC, ISUPK, if they're teaching false doctrines, which a lot of them are in Genesis and other groups, they're going off. See, if they don't start teaching the correct doctrine, they're going to be in this category as a false prophet. It says, "Who privately shall bring damnable heresies, even denying the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction." And that's what's going to be happening. They about to get swift destruction by the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. The Lord, he not playing. If you continue to teach these false doctrines, swift destruction is coming. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. You best believe this is about to happen. And it ain't going to be no denying it. And we've been warning you. We've been putting out lessons, telling these different leaders and teachers and prophets where they be going off. We've been telling them, you going off. Not only are you going off, this is the correct doctrine. The MOTB is not sleeping with white women. It's not an embargo. It's not a picture of Caesar Borgia. It's not any of these things that they've been teaching, other than the RFID C-hip or the brain C-hip. This technology that the Lord put it in these devils' minds to create. See, because ultimately this mark is from the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. It's a big test. Either you're going to take the MOTB or you're not. The ones that take it, you're going to be destroyed, burnt up by thermonuclear destruction by the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. You best believe this is going to happen. But for the ones of us who don't take it, Lord's will of that number to be delivered. See, because it's all about the elect. The elect is not going to take the MOTB. And it's about to come out anytime now, because we see everything happening war-wise. Everything is hot and concerning the wars. So the MOTB has to be right there. Now let's close out here in the book of St. Matthew. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 37. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 37. It says, "But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." It says, "For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving into marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark." And that's the way it's going to go down this time. A lot of our people, they chilling, man. They eating and drinking and marrying. They having a good time. Even though all the evils are multiplying, the prophets are out here prophesying, putting out lessons on the highways and byways. The Lord is putting a warning out. A lot of our people is ignoring the word. They're ignoring the prophets. See, during that time, the ones that didn't get on that ark, the ones that didn't heed the word, they got flooded out. They got drowned. See, the Lord used water. He flooded the whole earth. The only ones that was saved was Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives, and the animals that he had to put on the ark. Everything else was destroyed. You best believe. And this time around, the Lord said He's gonna use fire. It's not gonna be water this time. He's gonna do it with fire. Thermonuclear destruction and the lasers, concentrated laser beams coming off them chariots, man. It's finna be a lot of fire and brimstone on this earth. Come to real soon. There's finna be a lot of fire down here. And the ones of our people that didn't heed this word, they're going to get burnt up by that fire. They're going to be consumed with thermonuclear destruction, fire and brimstone. Verse 39, "And they knew not until the flood came and took them all away." So it says, "So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." So, during the time of Noah, the scripture called it the first death. That was the first death. The second death is going to be fire. The first death was water with the flood, the great flood. This time the Lord is going to use fire and brimstone. It's finna be a lot of fire on this earth real soon. And a lot of our people, 2/3 of our people right here in Babylon the Great, aka America, they're going to get that fire. They're going to be burnt up. See, because, hey, they didn't heed this word. They weren't set up ultimately because you have to be chosen. It's all about the elect. They were chosen before the foundation of the world to receive salvation. And you heathens is through because salvation is only for the elect of Israel. That's it. Not even most of our people they're not going to make it. So you heathens, forget about it. This thing was always set up for the elect of Israel. This is the prophecies. This is the will of the Lord. And Lord's will were of that number to be delivered from the said destruction. World War III is definitely here. It's brewing. It's getting worse. It's heating up. It's exactly what the Lord said will be happening in the last days. Spoken by the mouths of his true prophets who've been teaching you and telling you all along that these things are going to play out. These things are going to happen. And with that, I hope that you were edified by this lesson. This has been The True Prophets Were Right. All roads lead to World War III. I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.